In this video I am going to cover this chapter, an informal introduction to Python from the official Python tutorial. So, numbers. In Python we can play with numbers like this. Let me use interactive Python prompt. Okay, so let's say Python is installed in your, it is assumed that Python is installed on your system, and by writing Python or Python 3, whatever version is installed on your system, you can enter into interactive cell and you can see the output 2 plus 2 4 50 minus 5 into 6 20. This is equal to 5.0. like that you can do arithmetics on interactive cell. And if you are using IDE and like I am using Python, so you can do the same way here, like 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 and store it inside this variable placeholder, value placeholder, that is called variable. So 4 result of 2 plus 2 will be stored into this variable, and if you want to print on console you can use this like this. Let me comment out this. So these are comments. Comments means that they are not executable code, and these are executable code. So let me run it and we can see the answer 4 here on the console, and let me uncomment it out. So here I am storing 20 into this. This is called assignment operator, this is called arithmetic plus operator, arithmetic multiplication operator, and this is called arithmetic. So 20 will be stored into this variable width. 5 into 9, that is 45, will be stored into height, and then here we are printing width multiplied by height, that is 45 multiplied by 20, that is 900, and it will be displayed here. Again, if we go here and do this arithmetic, okay, so let's say result is equal to this, and print it result. Let me comment it out, this whole thing, and just let me print this one. So result will be 5.667, and this, there is a difference between this one and this one. This is floor division, that will discard the fractional part, so it will only result the quotient part, and that is 3 5s are 15. And for the remainder part we have to perform this operator. This is a modulo operator. This will return remainder of this 17 by 3 division, so that is 2, so it will return 2. And we can check if that is correct by using this arithmetic. So quotient multiplied by divisor plus remainder, that should be 17, and it is 17. Here we can see. Okay, now we have this operator, that is calculating, that is for calculating powers. So if we want to calculate power 2 power 3, so this is different than multiplication. In multiplication we have only single star sign, and in power we have 2 stars. And if we want to print the value, so this will result 2 power 3, that is 8, right? And the same way 2 power 7, if we do, it will result 128. Equal sign, so equal sign is used for assignment, so anything on the right will be stored into the left variable. So here we have already seen 2 power 7, the value 2128 is stored here, and we are printing that value. And if a variable is not defined, for example, if we try to print a variable that is not defined, for example print radius, that is not defined, so we will get the error, name radius is not defined. And if we define it before using it, the error will be gone. Radius is equal to 5.7, for example, so no error will be prompted. Okay, so text, so if you want to store text, so text can be represented in so name, let's say Panchdev. So we cannot for representing text information, we have to use this double inverted comma and place our text within it, and that way we can store text in textual information into variable name or any other variable, right? And another way is, for example, surname, you can place within inside this single inverted comma. That is also a way to store textual information. And for example, long text is equal to hello, for example like this, and we want to print it long text, we can. There is no limitation of this length of text. Then let's say you want to preserve formatting, so you have to use text like this, triple inverted comma, and whatever you will place, it will be printed as it is, so it will preserve formatting as well. Hello dear friends, I am Panchdev Chauhan. How are you? Oh, thanks, Panchdev. And if I print this preserve format, it will be printed as it is, as the way it is stored, with this indentation and all the details intact. So here we can see, right? Whereas in the case of normal printf, normal strings, we can see that preserve, it doesn't preserve, it just only holds the single line format. For that we have to use escape sequences like this, hello, and then something else. So this output will go to new line. These are special characters, those are called escape sequences in Python. If I run it, so So here we can see the next statement string after backslash n will go into the next line. So this was about single quoted string, double quoted string, and triple quoted strings. Triple quoted strings are for multi-line strings and it has ability to preserve format. And then let's say take an example of this. Let me open new file. Okay, and string is equal to this. Let's say this is my string, print as, this will print doesn't, but in doesn't I need an single inverted comma here, but here we can see this is giving me error, right? Unterminated string literal. So if you want to print a single inverted comma within a single inverted comma string, we have to use escape sequence. So this way we can use this single inverted comma within string. So then we have backslash n means new line and not the row string. This is a row string. Let's see the example. So if you want to print value of this, so this is again an escape sequence backslash n new line character. So whatever after this whatever comes after this escape sequence backslash n will go and print into the new line. So AME will be printed in new line. And if we want to print this backslash n and not go into the new line, so we have to use row string. So to denote row string we have to precede string with r before string like this, so it will print the whole tags with backslash n as well. So now this has no special meaning and it is simply a character backslash n, whereas in this case without this r prefix it has a meaning, special meaning of new line. So this is called row string and this is called normal string. And this example we already saw. And string concatenation. Okay, so print, if I say hello and then I will say world, so these are two strings. So by default system will compiler will concatenate these two strings and print hello world. If you provide comma, it will again concatenate both of the string. And if you want to see how the concatenation works, let's see. Result is equal to this and print the result. So this will also concatenate two strings like this. In this case it will be like tuple and in this case it will concatenate. And if you provide plus sign, again this will be act as concatenation operator in case of strings. Although in case of numeric values this acts as a arithmetic addition operator. So this was about concatenation. index is equal to this. Okay, and here if we say word Python, comment it out, and if we say word Python and try to print, so we can also subscript them. So we can access each character by subscripting them, and then subscript starts from 0. So 0 means P, Y means Y is 1 at the 1th position, 2 and so on. So this will print P, this will print Y 0 and then 1 Y, this will print 0 1 2 3 H, and 0 1 2 3 4 5, this will print N. And if we go beyond the limit, for example 6, it will throw an error. Index 6 is out of range because it has only valid indexes in the range of 0 1 2 3 4 5. 6 is beyond this range, so that's why it is giving error. Minus, so if we use -1, so it will start from the end. So this is the -1 position, so it will return N. If we say -2, it will return O. If we say -3, it will return H. If we say -4, it will return T. If we say -5, it will return Y. And if we say -6, it will return P. If we say -7, again it is out of bound, so we will have an error, string index out of range. Okay. Also we can slice characters from a list. So for example, slice 0 colon, the syntax is this. So let's say start is 0, after colon specify and. If I do not specify and, it will return whole string Python. If we specify the and 0 and 1, so it will return py. Okay, this is excluded, so I have to write this 2, then it will return pi. And if I say 6, it will return whole string. And if I do not specify start and end, it will return whole string, right? If I specify here 4, so it will return 0 1 2 3, only pyth. Okay, if I say start to 2, it will return th, like that. So 0 1 2 T and then 3H, then 4 will not print because 4 is out of 4 is excluded. So this way we can slice a string, okay, using negative. So let me check. If I say I need, this is -1 -2 and -3, so let's say start from -3 and colon, without specifying this, it will return HON. If I say -4, it will return on. Okay, if I say -2, it will -3, sorry, -2, it will return on, right? So we can use this way. Here is the explanation. For example, Python, this is 0th index, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and in negative subscript, this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -6. This is out of script. Okay, so this was about list. Okay, if we want to store list, so for example this, so these are squares I have stored here. So this is a list. So instead of this, if I say this is an empty list, so if you print nothing inside it, so it will print just blank empty list. If you want to check its length, so we have to use length of squares and it will return 0, right? And if I store this, so it will return print whole string, and length of squares means number of elements in the list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements, right? So this is how we can create list in Python. Again, we can subscript those lists. So if I want to say I need the first element, that is 0th element, so it is 1, and if I need whole list, we can again use this way range. We can specify the range, and we just want 2 values, so we can say 3, 2 for 2, 1 and 4. If we need all of 5 elements, we can specify this, or we can simply call squares, right? We can only want last 3, so we can use this way: 3, 4, 5, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have to provide 2 here, and last 3 elements 0, 1, 2 start from here until end. We do not need to specify and here, the result will be the same, right? And then this we already show. If we want to concatenate 2 lists, so we can do this. For example, squares is equal to squares plus add another list, for example 36, 49, 64, and we will print, if we print squares, it will print the new updated list, that is 149. Okay, so this is called, this will plus operator will concatenate this list with this list. Both types should be same. Okay, how to update a value. So if we want to update this value, instead of 9 we want to store something like, so its index is 0, 1, 2, 2, and we can store here something else. And if we print it squares, so we will see the updated list. Instead of 9 we will see 100, right? If we want to append a value, so squares dot append method can be used. If we say 81, so it will append to the list. It will append value of 81 to this list, that is this one. So after 64 81 will be appended. Here we can see 81 is appended, and then okay, now this is again an example of program, so let's do it. Print we already covered, so let's say we want to print values from 1 to 10, for example. So we can use this while loop. For example, number is equal to 1, and while n less than 11 colon, and let's say print n, and after printing n, update n to n plus 1. So while is for creating iterations in Python. So what it will do, it will first initialize this value variable n with value 1, then go inside this loop. While will form a loop, it will run the code statements until the while condition is true. Until the while condition is true. So it will enter and check the condition n less than 11. So in case of 1, yes it is, it will go inside, execute this block of code. So inner block of statements will be print and first statement, it will print the value of 1, and then what it will do, it will update the value of 1 to 2, for like this. It will increment 1 plus 1 2 and store the value inside n. So it will update the value of 1 inside n to 2, and then again what it will do, it will form a loop and again check the condition, while condition. If it is true, in this case it is true because 2 is less than 11, and again it will go inside the while statements and will execute it. So it will print value of 2, and then again it will update the value from 2 to 3, and again we'll check the condition. It will repeat the execution of these two statements until n is this condition becomes false, and that will become false when the n will hold the value of 11. So 11 less than 11 will become false. That way we can check after loop terminates, value of n is n. Okay, let's print it. So here we can see it will print 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and after loop terminates the value of n is 11. So because when the value becomes 11 less than 11, this condition becomes false and the loop will terminate. If the loop will not terminate, it will run this while statements infinitely, and that way program will never end. So you have to take care of this while condition. It should break at some point. Okay, so this was about while. So this is about an informal introduction to Python. Thank you.